This time on Woody's Garage. Rupp number 9. Number 9. Number 9. Number 9.
Well, back at the Rupp, I think we got big changes. We're going to pull off that Tecumseh today. And I was over a friend's last night. He gave me these handlebars that are much higher. They're off his Triumph. They look goofy on his Triumph, so it's like a 70 650. So let's pull this engine off. I've had it running once. Will it fit? Looks like it was on a pressure washer, huh? Shaft the same? Not sure. Okay, this thing stands about 12 inches high, at least back here, where it counts, because it's gonna have to be over here. And it's hitting the petcock here. And my guess it's probably gonna hit those bottom tank brackets. So I'm gonna take off the tank for now and see if we can fit it in. Pretty goofy looking with the tank off. There we go. That's like a glove. Now it looks like it's too big. Hell. It looks like the maybe if you take off the muffler housing, this business. The gas tank's really big too, although we're probably not gonna use it. And I bet the air filter's gonna be in the way too. Yeah, there's probably mods to do it. I don't know. I wasn't expecting this. Well, we got a warm, windy day today. It's about 60 degrees. It's about to pour. What I did is I'm taking the H35 and hitching it up on the board here. So I'm trying to get it running peak. So it's good when I put it back on the Rupp. Now, as far as horsepower goes, these things had 4 horsepowers on them originally. So, you know, that's not a lot more than a 3.5. So a 3.5 really should be enough. But I'm going to screw with it and see if I can get it running better, you know, level. It's not at a 20 degree, but it's on a level. So we'll try that. Okay, I cut about 3/16 off the end of this idle adjustment screw, but it's funny, I got it idled all the way down now and the idle actually still seems too high. Now if you remember long ago, I drilled this hole for this butterfly. The butterfly in there had a couple of holes in it, the round disc, and they were pointed up and down, so they kind of didn't have any function. And I wanted to look in some of my old carbs like this one to see that, hey, wait, that's a choke. See, that one's got one at the bottom there. That's a Tecumseh. That one's got none whatsoever. So maybe it's not supposed to have any. I was thinking that might be a problem here. I'm also toying with the idea of trying to make my own manifold just by cutting one of these guys up. You know, I'm trying to get 20 degrees out of the cut. It's better. Not so great, no. Okay, I'm starting to feel a little uncomfortable about this carburetor, although it's brand new. I can't get it to really work right, so I kind of want to try another one. And these were in my bin, and as, you know, kaput. So, you know, why would I put one of these on? I don't know. Try something else. I got this one and this one. Plus there's probably a few more over here. Those are all no good. Actually, none of these are any good. There's some real beauties in here. Look at this thing. Oh, there's a nice bowl with a drain. So I'm going to see what I can come up with. Put something on and see if it'll run on one of those. I decided I want to try the most decrepit looking one. The oldest looking thing. Well, it's kind of clean inside, so it had one washer inside the bowl, like maybe it leaks there. So I guess we'll find that out right quick. But let's put it on and see what it does. Well, we got the decrepit carburetor on there, full of gas right now, and it's not leaking, believe it or not. Let's start on it. This is closed. That's open. That's probably gonna go fucking haul ass, right? Right. Okay, let's see if we can get it started. Oh, not bad. You pull this out of a box of crappy carburetors, don't clean anything, put it on and it runs better than the brand new Chinese carburetor. I don't know, everything's blowing around, it's getting really windy here. I love all the weird carburetors. This came from a bunch of stuff I picked up in a batch from a guy who retired from doing lawnmowers as a business, so I have no idea of the origin of this thing. Looks like it's Tecumseh though, so that's an arrowhead type deal. The problem I'm going to have with the throttle here is that the governor pulls it the wrong way. You know, so I'm going to have to come up with some kind of throttle idea, but I swear I want to use this carburetor. I think it's cool. So that would be Lawson, I assume. That might be. I think I feel the first raindrops. I'm going to have to call it off for the day. Okay, we got our new clutch. As you can see the distance here, and see the distance here. That's not all that much difference. I'm really hoping this will do it. Okay, back to the Rupp while the boat dries out. And we put these goofy high handlebars on. I can't say I like them. But they'll clear my knees anyway, so unless I find some better ones at a swap meet or something, or on a bicycle, I guess they'll work. It means that that cable for the band brake is too short now. And another thing I'm working on is, I had this thing on the bench kind of outside, and it's running pretty good. Pretty good, he says. So now, of course, I just want to slap it right back in the bike. But it has, you know, some of this extra still winter shit, where this held the gas tank up like this. you know, and I think I'd rather have the cylinder exposed, although, you know, you do have the air coming from the flywheel. You tell me which is better. I don't know. I think it's kind of ugly, and I like to see the fins. But it also had this point of that goes to the points. So you could put like a kill switch here and the ground right here, which I kind of like. So I'm gonna try to do something with that right now and hitch it up to the switch that was on the handlebars here. It's also 2 conductors. So one would be to the ground and the other one would be to this. So, and I'd like them to unplug, so if I want to take the engine off, I can without a problem. Fins. Old speaker wire. Connector. Connector. And a couple of bullet connectors. And hopefully that'll link it up. Okay, we cut this piece out of that flap that was over it and mounted it. And every time I make one of these, I'm like, why didn't I solder it? They always feel like, yeah, they're just going to vibrate apart. So, well, we'll use this for now, and maybe I'll make another one that's soldered, because these cannot be trusted. Okay, I think we sort of have a working throttle. I really don't like this baling wire crap. I really don't, but it seems to be definitely working. You know, everything works, but the cable don't. I kind of like to have an extra return spring on this. Just would. You know, I hate doing things twice. When I was in my 20s, I worked for this guy who was from Yugoslavia, who actually studied at a university to be a efficiency expert. And basically what he told me is handle everything once. You don't come back to it. When I was doing websites and stuff like that, I worked for a guy who said like, oh, we'll fix it later all the time. And it drove me crazy because basically you were doing the same job twice. You know, he'd want to rush through everything and get it done but half-assed. So I agree with the efficiency expert that it's really quite a guy. Okay, let's, we got to dig into our bell cables again and make up a throttle cable. I think this one looks like the best. Has this end on it, not that end, this end. Where'd you go? I think that'll fit in there perfect. So I have to cut off this end, make sure this thing's long enough. Okay, I put a little tie wrap around the cable end to kind of keep it from moving around so it stays in its slot. Will that be enough? I don't know. Ran the cable up through this spring so that it's, you know, kind of, I don't know, stable, like me. And I think that's going to work. How well, I'm not sure. Alright, we're putting the engine back on because I guess the throttle is okay. One thing I mentioned is like I had the bolts loosen up while I was out riding it, but there's only 3 slots. You see that slot there? There's not one up front here. It's kind of strange. There's only 3, but there are 4 of these holes, which are non-adjustable. I opted to go with these because I thought the alignment was right for this engine, so I'm not quite sure what these are for. Leaky Boat Louie. I wonder how I got that name.